Hello, everyone, and welcome to another podcast episode. I think this is episode number 17. I first of all just want to thank everyone who has been commenting and been watching the podcast. It's been really fun and nice, and especially the past couple of days now, having uploaded more recent episodes, I feel like I'm more in sync. So that's also a very nice feeling. And yeah, let's start off with the first thing, and that is a thank you. A thank you to the first kofi supporter of this channel, Kata 8012 donated a coffee to me on coffee.com. So this is the first one since I started the podcast, and I'm just really thankful. They also added a message saying, "So very much enjoy seeing your podcast. So much fun and appreciate your unique views on everything. Love your eye and your style, what you choose to knit." And thank you so much for the message. I feel always so awkward when I get compliments, but I really do appreciate it, and I just wanted to express that in this way. So thank you so much, Kata8012, and also for always commenting on the episodes in the YouTube comments down below. But yeah, let's get started. As you can see, I am wearing my frill yoke sweater for the first time. Well, actually no, for the second time. I was very enthusiastic about trying this out, so I wore it during the heat wave in the Netherlands, and I can not recommend that experience. But now it is quite okay. I think we're around about 18-20 degrees, and I tend to get cold very fast. So definitely at home and outside, well, anywhere now in the Netherlands, it's nice sweater weather, so that's why I'm wearing it, and I'm really happy with how it looks. I paired it with some old pants of mine, which I can maybe give a better look. I think also in the intro so first of all, I didn't shower. What am I saying? I didn't iron. I didn't iron the pants, so they look a bit, non-ironed. So this is how it looks tucked in. It looks pretty good tucked out as well, but I like the security. I like having my trousers tucked in. So yeah, the frill yoke sweater. Maybe the back. I've already shown the back before, but I don't know. Here's another shot. Is it actually a proper shot? Anyway, okay. Yeah, so I'm just really happy with it. Yeah, this is definitely the first sweater that I now have that I'm actually really enthusiastic about, I think. Yeah. So hopefully that will increase by 2 over the autumn. I had 2 other sweaters planned for this month, October and November. That's the time frame I'm giving myself to finish 2 sweaters. But I haven't started yet. I have one swatch for one, but I will talk about that when the time is right. But yes, I think we should start with some socks, because I have been knitting a lot of socks, and for some reason I just wanted to try out different techniques as well. So I've kind of self-induced one sock syndrome, but usually I think with about 80-90% of the socks that I've knit, I have just finished them the entire pair in a fashionably, that's not how you'd say it, in an orderly way. I just finished socks. I'm not really I'm not very, I can what I am trying to say is that one sock syndrome doesn't come naturally to me, and that this was definitely done deliberately. So yes, let me show you the socks that I've been working on. So first up, we have this sock. This is the one that I showed in the last episode. This is just a really like, I think my basic vanilla socks, like basic sock pattern that I have for myself. So starting off with the specs, the yarn that I used was 4-ply Opal sock yarn called from the line Schafplatte 13, and the like name of this colorway is Übernachtung auf der Heide. So this is 75% superwash wool and then 20% polyamide. So I looked that up because I was like, sometimes it says 25% polyamide and sometimes you'll see socks having, I don't know, 25 or 20% nylon, and I was like, what's the difference between the two? Turns out that nylon is a group, belongs to the group of polyamides, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I knit these on 2.5mm needles, and yeah, just kind of like, because I was supposed to make, I spoke about this during the last episode, I was supposed to make these for my partner, so I just wanted like a basic sock for him. So yeah, this is just regular 1x1 rib, stockinette stitch, cuff down, leg, stockinette stitch, then just reinforced heel. How would I say this? Like, I don't know, it's kind of like the most easiest or like the most often used heel flap, like one row being slip knit, etc., and the other being just purling, and then just a regular French heel, and then I just did like I just decreased a couple of stitches. Usually, like, I found that the best way for me to make socks fit is just knit until like the sock covers my first pinky and the smallest toe, and then I will either do like one, like on 4 points, right, a decrease, then knit a row, then do 2 decreases in a row, then knit a row, and then do 3. And then sometimes if I want it a bit longer, I'll do like after the 2 decreases, I'll do like a knit row and then another 2 decreases, then a knit row again, and then 3 decreases, and then stitch it all up. So yeah, I think I kind of like got bored with this. Well, not really bored, but more so I was feeling like I wanted to do something different, learn some more sock techniques, because I feel now that after, I don't know, a good number, I think I've knit about 5 pairs of like these type of, like this specific sock construction. I think like maybe 5 times, and then I've done like small variations other times as well. But yeah, I wanted to try different things, and that's how we come to this sock, which actually kind of like looks the same. Actually, the only thing that I changed was, well, yeah, I changed the heel flap. So I have this book, like this Vogue knitting book, a complete guide to knitting, and it has a section about socks, and they give 3 reinforced heel flaps, or 2 actually. The one that I mentioned here, and then also this one, which is called the, I don't know, corncob stitch, yeah. And if you can see it, which is pretty nice, you can see the like the knits here, and then the dropped heel, the drop stitches as well. Yeah, so actually, yeah, this is just a regular long tail cast on top, cuff down sock. And then the other new thing that I did when it comes to this sock is that I did a Dutch heel or square heel, which is similar to the French heel. I think the only difference is that you, instead of like when the time that you're like right before you turn, when you're doing the heel, the heel turn, you know, usually with the French heel you knit two together, or like SSK, and then you knit one stitch and then you turn the work around. But with the square heel or Dutch heel, you don't knit that extra stitch and you just turn instantly, which is why you don't have this section like widening in the way that it does with the French heel. I do think that I do prefer the French heel. I think it fits my foot a bit better, but I also want to try these out first and have like a, good experience wearing these. So yeah, this is yarn from Japan. There's also Opal yarn. This is the Opal KFS yarn, sock yarn. It is from the Kesenuma line, and the color is Ijisai, and I just think it's just really beautiful. I'm really happy with this sock, so I'm actually very excited to do this one again so I can wear these. And yeah, the same, like, how would I say it? It's just also 75% superwash wool, and then 25% nylon, and then the yardage. Oh, I don't think I mentioned the yardage previously, but that is 425 meters and 100 grams per 100 grams. Yeah. So this was a good experience. So that was fun. So now I have 2 unfinished socks. Although I will say, I have to be honest, there is one pair of socks that I wouldn't even call it one sock syndrome, because I actually didn't even finish the first sock in the first place. I was trying to make these for my graduation ceremony in Japan, but I ended up having no time at all to actually knit. So the project kind of died. I have a couple of projects that have died or are on hold right now that I started in Japan. I've been cleaning out my stash, or like reorganizing it, so I just happened to find this in like my knitting crate. But yeah, this is just another regular sock, like this one, basically the same cuff down, heel flap, French heel, and yeah, just it never got to the toes essentially. And I'm not too sure which, this is Opal yarn as well, but it's not it's Opal KFS. I don't know which color it exactly is, but yeah, the reason why you see this blue line here is that I was trying to make I just put this line here because I wanted to do a frill afterwards. So yeah, who knows, maybe I'll finish this coming week or in 2 weeks, hopefully soon, because I would love to have all my needles back. Basically just store them. I actually don't like having so many needles stuck onto different projects, so I just have to finish this as soon as possible. Oh, wait, I'll just put it here. Yes, and then we have now arrived to the last sock of the week. And this sock, I think I started 2 days ago. So also first things first, isn't this just such a beautiful colorway? Yeah, so this is again Opal yarn. I did a couple of different things here which I'm actually really proud of. So this is 1x1 rib, which I did in one color. This is Opal's 4-ply orange color yarn, and then I switched to, let's see, what's the colorway again? Yeah, this yarn called Opal Beautiful World, and then the name is Wasserspiele or Wasserspiele. I'm not that good in German, but yeah, so yeah, this is a regular, well, so basically I've just been testing out different heel flaps, and so this one is woven stitch. So I found it in one of my knitting dictionary books. I just went to the slipped stitches section and found this one and thought it was nice. Also, I think I've seen it in someone else's video as well, talking about different types of heel flaps that one could use. So yeah, like basically this is like I used like a contrast color, right? So you know, when you do like a heel flap, no, yeah, when you do like a French heel, like with a heel flap, etc., etc., if you don't have something like this. Okay, I hope I can explain this clearly. So basically, if you have like you're doing like German short rows, you basically, it's very easy to make sure that the yarn doesn't go over the instep, right? And when I was making this sock, this is the first sock that I actually used contrast, a contrast color, even though it doesn't look like it. I used grey. I started off with the heel flap, and then I did the heel turn, and then I started doing the gusset, and I was like, oh wait, it's going over the instep, which is something that I didn't want. I kind of like wanted like the heel flap, I wanted like the German short row heel, but then like doing it with the heel flap without it going over the instep. So I was like, what can I do to avoid that? And so I thought about Intarsia, which I have never tried. For some reason, it always kind of like scared or confused me. I never looked into it. But then I just kind of Googled or YouTubed, even if that's a word. I looked on YouTube for videos on Intarsia in the round, and I found a couple of videos. They looked kind of complicated, but I found one that was good enough to actually give me some semblance of understanding. And yeah, this is basically how far I got. Like literally this morning I finished like this last section. So yeah, for having like a French heel and then like the gusset bee in Intarsia, that's pretty cool, I thought. So yeah, the video that I used was kind of difficult to follow. I'll put a link in the description box down below, because this woman actually has a lot of really good and informative YouTube videos. Actually, the heel flap the German short row without going over the instep, I actually used her video for explanation. This one was a bit harder to understand because she was showing Intarsia in the round, but she used two sides basically having Intarsia, and man, I was just lost often. And I made some mistakes here and there. Maybe I'll put a picture of when I was like halfway through fixing it. Basically, I messed up a couple of stitches here and it didn't look good. So basically what I did is I did like duplicate stitches on top in the same color so that the issues would disappear. It definitely looked way worse than in the picture that I'm showing, because I just had the idea to make a picture like midway fixing it. But yeah, there's a lot to still learn. Also, if you look closely here, the tensioning isn't the best. So I don't know, maybe I'll try and block it and see if it like will work itself out. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I'm very excited to finish these socks. I think that I'm going to finish these socks and then do the second sock, just so that I can try this Intarsia again, and maybe I'll try and do it on a couple of other future socks so that I just don't forget. Okay, then the last sock related thing is this sock, which I'm actually going to be frogging. So I don't know if I mentioned it in the last episode, but I really wanted to get back into the 52 weeks of socks plan, try and make as many as I could. And so I started with this one pattern by who was it? Yeah, by Laurie Wagner. I think it was sock number 49. It's called Cougar Ridge. And I thought this looked like a pretty fun sock. It was just one color and just some, I guess, like lace details. And I thought it would be like a fun project. But I realized that I might have not picked out the ideal sock yarn for it. So basically, I've spoken about this yarn, I think also in the last episode. This is yarn dyed here in the Netherlands by Undercover Otter. This is their squirm sock base, and this color is called Rift, I believe. Yeah, so it's 80% fine superwash merino and then 20% nylon, and then the yardage is 400 meters per 100 grams. But the thing is that I've noticed, even though I haven't made a lot, it's kind of like hard it's kind of hard to see the pattern. What I'm thinking is that I don't like to have to have a pair of socks where both the yarn is like very busy and also the lace, the pattern on the sock is also busy, because they're just kind of like fighting against each other and kind of like stealing the spotlight, right? So I realized that after doing, I think maybe 4 rows after the ribbing, that I think I wouldn't even be wanting to wear these socks. So basically what I've decided to do is to stay away from the 52 weeks of socks for a while and save up for some sock yarn, because like I can't afford to buy more yarn at the moment. So I'm just gonna have to wait until I have enough cash to get some more sock yarn. I was thinking of buying some Mayflower sock yarn in a couple of colorways. I think it would be nice to maybe start with 5 socks for 52 weeks of socks. But then again, I also have like the Opal, I have a box full of Opal yarn, which I'm actually going through pretty fast. So I'm actually very proud of myself. So I'm gonna have to shelf that project for now. Yeah. So I think that's about it. So this is going to get frogged, and then I think I'm just gonna do a regular pair of socks for this yarn. Then I actually have something that I finished a couple of days ago. Ta-da! It's the hood scarf that I spoke about. So this is how it looks. I can give some specs. Basically, this is a pattern from Daruma pattern book number 8. It's called a hood scarf, and it was designed by Natsumi Kuge. And the yarn that I used for this was some in my stash woke yarn. It's the Dickey merino, which is, I believe, 100% merino superwash. 100% merino superwash. And the yardage is 225 meters per 100 grams. I ended up using about 150 grams, something like that. I used 2.5 balls of yarn. Yep. And what do I have to say about this? I'm a bit disappointed. Yeah, I made some modifications, and I don't know if that was actually to the detriment of the pattern. Basically, the pattern calls for you to knit the two sides separately, and then you stitch them together. And what I did was I added how many? I added three more columns, three more stitches to the whole thing, and just knit the whole thing together. And then on the top I did like a Stitchner stitch, no stitch, a Kitchener stitch that was way too tight, which is why you can kind of see like where it was. But yeah, that's basically what I did, and I just don't like the way it is, the way it looks on me, if I'm being really honest. Like, this definitely is the shape that the pattern showed. Like, this is how it's supposed to look, even like say for this section, of course. And I think I messed up a couple of times. I ended up having two more stitches on one side, but then I ended up fixing that in the last couple of rows. But I wouldn't have expected the fit to be so unsatisfying, but I think it's basically because of my own like head, if that makes any sense. Basically, like, I have a lot, like, usually I tie down, but my hair is very voluminous, so even though I try to like make it like sleek and stuff like that, you'll see like crazy bumps, and it makes hats look kind of weird. Like, anything that goes on your head, it makes look kind of weird. And I don't know if it's my hair. Well, okay, this is definitely my hair now, but or it's just the way the hood looks. But I don't know, I don't really like the way it's like folding, essentially. So, like, you can see here like the 2 points. I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm gonna try and block it again, see if I can fix some of the, I don't know, fit issues. Though I will say, I don't think I'm gonna frog it. For one, I spent a lot of time on it, and for the most part I enjoyed the experience, but it does kind of look dope on me, like when I'm not wearing it on my head. So basically as like a accessory like this. So this is kind of like how it looks, and I like that a lot. I think it looks nice in that way. I don't know, maybe if I have it like this, and then it's like, oh no, it's about to rain. I don't know why it's so bumpy. Maybe it's because I didn't block it correctly. I don't have like the right blocking tools at the moment as well, so I definitely think it's a me problem, because I also looked at the pictures and they looked like the finished objects in the book looked way nicer than this. But also this doesn't look all that bad. I just don't know why it's so, why does it like keep like, I don't like the fit. If I put it down real tight. Maybe this will actually work with some blocking. But yeah, at the top there's like a lot of increases, which is why you have like this type of ordeal going on. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Basically, what comes down, basically, in the end, I don't think that I'm gonna make a second one of this. I think I'd like to try other patterns, other things for on top of my head. So that brings me to a project that I've been swatching for. Okay, so here are the swatches. Ta-da! So the project that I'm swatching for is this one pattern called the Fuzzy Pixie hood by Fable Knitwear, and she is a designer who I've known about for I think about now 3 almost 4 years, and I absolutely love her style. It's her patterns are very vintage inspired, which I think is very cool, very elegant, they're very well fitted, they look. And that's also something I've heard from people who have used her patterns. But in any case, I bought a couple of months ago her pattern for the Fuzzy Pixie hood, and I figured since I wasn't going to use this yarn again for another of these hood scarves, I should give this a go. So the yarn suggestion for this project is like you have one like fingering weight yarn, and then also some silk mohair, like lace weight yarn. And I thought I didn't have any, but then I remembered that I bought some of this in Japan for a really good deal. So this is 80% mohair and 20% silk. This is leftover yarn from a factory. This is from Knitting Bird. I don't have the yardage because I lost the label somewhere, but yeah, it's just your regular silk mohair mix. And I just love what it does with this one, which is yarn from Itobito. I've spoken about this one before. This is one of their sock yarns. Yeah. So this is their sock yarn. The colorway is called Star Wars, and it's 85% pre-shrunk, extra fine superwash merino, and then 15% nylon, and the yardage is 400 meters per 100 grams. So yeah, I'm gonna try maybe start this project in a couple of days. So I think the pattern recommended 4mm needles, and I did that with this, and I thought that my gauge was a bit too tight, and then I did 4.5, and I didn't like how loose the gauge is, so I might make adjustments here and there. Fable Knitwear also gives like help when like ideas or like things to do if you want to adjust it if you have like a lot of hair. For instance, for me that's like a huge deal. It's not that I have that much hair. Basically the length of my hair, like straightened, is about this, like maybe like bra strap length, but since it's like very curly, it bunches up and it's like very, very thick. So I need some extra space in the back if, for instance, I have a bun or something, for the hood to be comfortable on my head. So I'm very thankful for the pattern actually explaining how to do that. So that's everything I have for that one. Then, is there anything else that I wanted to talk about? Yes, some yarn I spoke about, I think in episode 15, I spoke about how I was looking into trying to knit up a bikini, and that there was this yarn that I found that was manufactured by an American company, Skassel or something, and it was this blend of cotton, bamboo, silk, and elastic nylon that I wanted to try, and that I had bought 2 skeins of 50 grams in Japan, but I also saw a couple of like more busy colors as well on this Canadian online website, and so I ended up buying 3 skeins there, and they finally arrived after 3 months. So I think I did make a mistake. I think what I wanted to do was buy 2 colorways, and then one 100 grams and the other one 50 grams, just in case I would run out of yarn while making like, I don't know, the bikini bottom, something like that. But what ended up happening was that the people sent me an email and they were like, you didn't choose your third color, and I forgot about this whole idea that I had, so I just chose another color, and so now I have 3 different colors. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do something bikini related with these. When, I don't really know, but I'll just have to see how definitely school goes. School's been really busy and tough, but yeah. So I'll give you the specs on these. They're the same as the other one. It's 55% cotton, 60% bamboo, 21% elastic nylon, 8% silk, and it is 201 grams per 50, no, 201 meters per 50 grams, which sums up to 402 meters per 100 grams. So this color right here is Seattle Sound. So you'll have a lot of, yeah, so it's blue, orange, no, green, blue, green, and gray. Wow, my brain just stopped working right there. And then this is like a pinkish, magenta-ish, and blue and green. I think that's all. Oh, yeah, and this name is Fantastic. Ooh, there's some purple in here as well. Or maybe they use that to tie it up. I'm not too sure what's happening there. And then finally we have the color, the Pansies? I don't know what that means. But yeah, it's like green, like a lime green, darker purple, and magenta, and then like how would you call this? Like a aquatic blue? I don't know. Yeah, so those are the colors. I think I'm gonna start off with the pink pants first, just to see how much yarn I might need for like swimming trunks, underwear, panties, blah blah blah, and then I can gauge what I'm gonna do with the others. If I'm gonna do, I don't know, like knit them separately and then attach them so the front and the back are different colors. I don't know, we'll see. So last thing that I wanted to talk about, which I wrote twice apparently, is this thing that I've been trying to do myself. I'm self-drafting a pattern, or basically something, I don't know. Let me just explain. So basically I've always wanted to like design my own stuff, but I've always felt like not confident about my skills, like I felt like I'm not ready for it. But you know, you have to start at some point, and my point is now. So I think a couple of days ago, maybe 8 or 9 days ago, I started working on this type of Dickey vest. Basically, I was just on the internet for a very long time and I was looking for a project that I could design by myself. And I came across this French vintage website. I'll leave a link in the description box below. And she just had, basically what she does is she just collects a lot of French knitting and sewing and perhaps also crochet books, and she'll just scan, I think, all pages and just like post them online. And so there was this one fashion blog that had this type of vest looking thing. I'll leave a picture here. It had like a vest looking thing, and I thought, oh, that's cool. If I could like make a Dickey in that type of form, like, I think that would be pretty awesome. So basically I didn't have like the exact yarn that I wanted, so I ended up just using yarn that I had bought specifically for one of my sweaters that I wanted to knit this summer. So I have to think about what I'm gonna do with that now. But yeah, this is basically it. Ta-da! Well, it's not done. It's not done at all. But I kind of lost motivation, which is kind of sad. But I'm gonna try and finish this in like a week or two. So this is how it looks. Okay, this is gonna be hard with my bun sticking out. Okay. Destruction kept at a minimum. Oh, I also have like a neckish, turtleish thing already, but that's okay. So, like, okay, it doesn't look like much at the moment, but this is where I'm at now. So basically, I'm gonna do some double knitting edging at the sides here. I haven't done that before, so I thought that would be fun to try out. Yeah. So basically what I did top down is I did 2x2 rib, as you can see here, and then yeah, 2x2 rib, and then I just started doing the shaping for the neck, no, for the shoulders, and then I just kind of went down and started decreasing as I went down at the front, and then I did a garter, well, at the same time I was like knitting a garter border, yeah, and that's it for now. And the thing that I thought was nice is that I've now kind of learned how to make a Dickey, like just on its own, like a simple one that's like till here and on the back. So yeah, I don't know, I could make like a tutorial for like the basic shape of a Dickey. I don't know, let me know if that sounds interesting. I've never made like a tutorial like that, but who knows, it could be fun. Also, I had another idea for like something crochet, but that's just like so much in the back of my head at the moment, I don't even know. But yeah, this is some specs on the yarn. This is, like I said, yarn that I had actually purposed for a sweater that I wanted to make. So this is onion number 4 in the color Cola, and it is 70% organic wool and then 30% nettle fiber. I chose this because I knew that this was going to go around my neck, and I know how soft this yarn gets once you wash it. So I was like, okay, this is definitely, I'll know for sure that I'll be able to wear this without feeling very uncomfortable. Then I forgot to mention the yardage. I used 3.5 and 3 millimeters on the neck. Basically, here the top is 3.5, the middle is 3, and then the part here is 3 as well. And then I used 4 for the body. Yeah, also I found this technique of like, I don't know, knit as you go, or should I knit together, or join as you go on the shoulder here, because basically, right, so basically what I'm trying to say is that, you know, when you're knitting, when I was like shaping the shoulders and everything, I just cast off here because I wanted the garter stitch to run the same way. So I started knitting actually from here in garter stitch and went down, and so I had to knit along these, like, I don't know, 5-6 stitches. So yeah, that's what I did. I saw a good video for that. I'll leave the link to that in the description box below. The person in that video also spoke about knitting backwards, and I had actually learnt of that concept in one of my knitting technique books, and I thought, you know what, maybe I should give that one a go, because it does kind of like seem convenient in some spaces. Like if you're making if you have your rows are very short, like maybe 4 stitches, it's nicer to be able to knit left and then like from the right to the left, and then from the left to the right and from the right to the left, basically. So without having to turn anything. That's also the reason she gave it in the tutorial when she was like knitting the border here. I think she had like 7 stitches, and she's like, yeah, this is way easier just knitting the opposite way, and it's an easy thing to learn. I did try to like do it myself, and I just got like a brain freeze. I was like, oh, how does this even work? So I think I'll like figure that out in maybe a couple of weeks. Yeah. So I think that is everything. It's been more than a week since I filmed the last episode. Yeah, I don't know. I'll try and do this every week. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you have anything to say, like, leave it in the comment section down below. I really appreciate that. And yes, I will talk to you in the next video on this channel. Take care. Bye.